What's up, guys? Kwasi here for Kwasi Media and Kwasi Animations. We are in Blender right now. Like as I told you, as I promised, I said, okay, I apologize for the last video where I cut you off and make human because I realized in order for me to switch over in OBS, I would have to do a lot of things. So I decided to make it 2 videos. I did say in the beginning of the other one, it was going to be multiple videos. So right now we're going to import the other character. Now understand, if you don't know much about Make Human, they have a website. It'll tell you how to do everything in reference to the importers, the MHX2 files, and so on and so on. So go check that stuff out. I'm not necessarily of the mind to try to do a tutorial for that because it's not like it's deep, but it's a matter of you have to have put files in Make Human and also files in Blender. So what we're going to do right now is we're just going to deal with continuous workflow. So here's the second part of the pipeline. Is importing our character. I'm going to bring him in with all his face shapes and everything, and then we're going to wait. So now this part right here, what I'm going to do is basically shade the character, and yeah, I'm going to shade the character, and that's pretty much it. Pretty much, like I might go ahead and get my core parts started for like the clothing or whatnot to get them dressed, to start thinking about different things on how I want to go about putting, because I want them to look like, what's the best way to put that? I'm trying to think of the words that go with that. I want the character to look like somebody you would see maybe in a Dungeons and Dragons game. Now that doesn't mean it's going to be a lot of hard armor, because these guys are more magic wielders, so there might be certain things that you wouldn't see. There'll be certain things on them that they're not going to be, that would only be on a mage, or things that wouldn't be with a warrior or whatever. And then I'm just gonna go through the process. Basically, that's the best way to put that, because I'm kind of over talking it and under talking it. And you see how glossy it is, because these the shader that comes with it when you export it as an MHX, that's how it turns out. So I'm gonna add some stuff here, and I know you say, well, how are you gonna do the anime shader? Oh, trust me, I'm going to do it. It's not going to be hard. Now he has a texture on him that, okay, so now in here what you have is this boot image, right? So there's a boot image, so that's what's giving me the texture here for these boots, right? So what I'm gonna do is this diffuse shader, the BSDF, on the diffuse, I will be able to actually create my anime shader and tack it in here between there and there, so I'm still in the same position. So basically what I'll do is come over here, come down here, and make my anime shader, right? All right, we're gonna do the same thing there. Do this, come here. I did those backward, didn't I? How did I end up hitting 3, man? Typing too fast. Slow down. I don't want to make my videos too big or too long, because I have to upload these through my phone, and that's part of the problem for me a lot of times, because where I live at, they don't bring the internet out here, and all of the things I saw for like hotspot, Wi-Fi, internet, and all that is really just, it's pretty much trash to me. It's like you're trying to charge me $50 for 5 gigabytes of mobile data that I get, and I get more mobile data than that from a phone bill, and I pay $50 for that. So I'm like, I pay $50 from a phone bill and get more data with that than I would with a hotspot. Yeah, y'all smoking. So they just trying to price gouge, and it's just retarded, when really you should just give me a good price and you won't have that issue. So with that being said, let's get on with it. Now bring this over here. I understand that we have the boots. So since the boots have a image as a thing, we're gonna click the boot itself, and then I'm gonna lighten that up. So I want it to be dark, but I don't want it to be so dark that it doesn't work. All right. And I know that this bottom one has to be way lighter than the other one. Okay, so we're gonna drop that on there. Just that fast, voila. Okay, so I'm gonna play with this a little. It may not work as well as I want it to. Yep, I thought so. So yeah, there we go. Because I like mine to kind of have that And you see how like the images, that the actual image that comes with it for it being leather starts to stick out. I like that because there's an image there. Now understand, you can still do the same thing if you have image textures and those textures are inputted into the deal. That is beautiful. Okay, so let me go in here. There's no normal, right? So yeah, there's no normal for the boots. So it has like its own texture based on the image that's already there, and that is cool, man. So there we go with our anime shader for that. All right, now for his body, let's click him. There's no image there, so we don't even have anything for the image the texture coordinate to even read. I'm gonna delete that because I don't need it. Bring this up. Come on, man. All right, so since the glossy shader, I'll still want it because this is a different setup, because this is what the MHX does. It, when you export it from a human, it gives it a glossy principal shader, a glossy shader, so you can actually do these setups yourself. But I'm going to just use a color ramp to control the roughness, and the roughness is how shiny something can be or how dull something can be. And the one on the black side, because it's the alpha side, literally makes it shiny, and this side here makes it duller. So since I want it down some, because again, I'm doing an anime shader. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and bring in the anime shader again. Don't forget to make a new one. I'm going to open that up, and I'm going to actually pick from the skin, because I'm picking from the skin because there's no shader on this. It's just blank by itself. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. Lighten it up. I'm going to... what? What? All right. Yeah, I have to select the node. I'm sorry. If you want to completely reset the node, click the node itself, hit backspace, and it'll reset it. I wasn't doing that correctly a second ago. All right. So we're waiting on it to kick in. Here we go. I want to look at it from the angle a little bit. I'll open it up some. Bring it a little bit darker, a little bit lighter. Yeah, I want this to be more skin toned, and it's not skin toned. Okay. And then this one the same way. All right, there we go. Not red, skin tone. I may even add a subsurface to this, which I think I will. I'll bring that part up. Bring up the dark side a little bit more. The dark side. All right. See, just this video alone is just showing. Just again, this is I want like an anime style shader because we're doing. I don't know. I just like that style, so this is what we're gonna go with. Since his eyebrows already have a thing on them, and the beauty of having this like this is that. Oh, wrong one. Is that. Waiting on it. Don't forget to save, because I did not. Come in here, save it. Oh, save it in the folder that it's in. All right. Eyebrows, eyelashes, eyeballs. My eyeballs. You know, this thing has a really high shine on it, so I wanted to reduce that some by just changing the color, but I wasn't going to put a color ramp on it. So I think we're pretty much done with that. I might add some more things later, but right now this is what we're going with, and that's what I want for him. So let's see what it looks like at a brighter light. Oh yeah, a dimmer light. Ooh. So if he was in a light like this, I would have to light him in the scene, right? And that's the thing, is that you want to kind of test it out in different lighting situations. So that's one, because the situation he would really be in would be more like this one. And of course that means I would have to light him with like maybe some sort of firelight or something like that. So yeah, because it comes as the default is this one, and it will kind of trick you into believing that it looks better than it does. All right, so this character comes in like without going into the collection, so I'm dropping all the stuff in there. Make sure you name the character. That is not what I wanted. Let's undo that. That is not what I wanted. Let me put those back in there. This oh my goodness. Okay, because it's still, What is happening here? Okay, this is what I wanted to do. I don't know why I did that. So anyway, all right. Okay. So like I said before, the other guy might take this off, because when you just, you know, come in and look at it, I can probably, it's go in and say, okay, I want the boots by themselves, go to the front, go into wire view, do this, and I may just come in and just swipe all of this out, and then slowly come out of it like this, and then just remove that part. So it's just, I know that you were like, what did he just do? We'll get to that at another time. Right now we're setting ourselves up to do an animation, and we're going through the workflow process. So we're going to pick his body. We're going to go back into edit mode. I'm going to hit Z4, because right now what I want to do is I want to create a pair of pants for him. So instead of trying to create pants with something like maybe like for instance, I have Simple Cloth, right? Simply Cloth Pro, which is cool because I can use it to make pants, but there are a lot of little things to that. So I tend to use it to help me with what I'm doing right now. So I'll go up kind of high on him and then come all the way down, because his legs only go so far. All right. And then I'll basically, with just what I have, I'll make sure I can get in tight on that, and then come in and get rid of, I'll undo that. Get rid of something I know I don't need. Oh my goodness, this is driving me now. All right. So we know that that line doesn't need to be had. Okay, so I can do something with that. Go back to the front view. I'm gonna hit Shift D, escape, because now it made a second one. We're gonna go back into solid view, come out of, uh-oh. I can't find it. Where is it? Where's my second one? Did it make it? Oh Lord, there's two meshes here and I can't even find the other one. Oh, I know why. Let's just undo everything. Watch what I did. Show you what I did here. Okay, so it's still one, right? Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna Shift D, select it, hit P, and separate by selection, and then we're gonna go back into solid view, and then it's by itself. I hit it, and then it's by itself, and I hit G. Well, it's not gonna move now because it's locked. So let's unlock it, and now when I select it, I can move it around. So I want it by itself, because what we want to do is we want to take this to create pants. So I know I want the pants to be up as high as that. So what I'm going to do is start to refine the pieces I know I don't want anymore. I'm going to get rid of those pieces. That's fine too. I can do that. Click, click. You know, some people say it's the fastest way to click. That you are correct, it is. But I want to make sure that I'm picking the refined pieces, or the pieces that I know for a fact I don't want to mess it up with. All right, so that's pretty good. All right, come over here, go to smooth. So I want to bring it, make it even as possible. All right, yeah. Okay. Boom, though. All right. And let's see, zoom it out some. All right, there we go. Now we're gonna rename these to pants. They have shape keys on them. I don't want them. Delete all the shape keys. I still want these vertex groups, because they're gonna keep him those locked onto him, because there is an armature on it. So I'm gonna make sure that those things are locked on. All right, he has a default skin. We're gonna get rid of that, because we don't want to be looking at pants that look just like him. All right, so the pants have no shade on them right now. They have a flat shader. All right, now what else do we have? So we're starting here, and all right, so go into, I'm gonna toggle the stack. I'm gonna, do I want to do solid yet? No, I don't think I want to solidify. What am I gonna do now? Let's see. I really want to refine this a little bit better. So what I'm thinking is this top part, why does it look like that? Let me select this. There we go. I'm not gonna do this for every part, all right? I'm just doing it for right here, because I wanted to make sure that if I select all of it and hit this, then it'll beef it up to a point, but then I have this issue here. And then look what starts to happen around the legs. Okay, so a good way to do this, really, to be honest, is to put on the actual proportional editing. You hit O, excuse me, say hit one thing, hit G, and then scroll it down, because right now it's gigantic. All right, so I want to pull it out some. Let's say here I want to pull it out a little bit more and just refine it a little, so we know what we want. I know what I want. Let's go with what I want. I know what I want. Now understand, as I do this, another thing is going to start to come into play, and that's that I'm going to put a Solidify modifier on this, so it's going to thicken it up. So right now what you're seeing is a thin, it's the thin set of pants, but they're going to be thicker than this. So I'm just getting it directly off of the body, and I'm probably going to delete that part of it so that this is really the mesh that you see. Because a lot of times this is what happens. Is say we have this right here, and I select the body also, and I hit tab. Right, so that means that the pants are selected along with the body, right? So I shift L and turn it off. So the pants are selected right now along with the body. So this, I'm trying to think of words. So this will actually be the actual part that you will actually see, versus it being just some random thing, just on top, and the portion underneath will be deleted, and this would actually be the body. That's how a lot of models are made. Like for instance, if I move the boots, which I know they're locked, so let's go unlock them. I don't know why the program does that. There are no feet. This is how a lot of times it works. So since there's no feet there, this portion, if I took it and hit this part and I hit this part, this is what it looks like onto the bottom. All right, so okay, now I'm going to add a belt to this. How I'm going to do that is like such, because I'm putting all these things together, and you see how that did that? That's probably because of my view. So let's go to 0.1. Nope, it's not. You can keep it at 0.1 because I had to get close to the model. All right, so I'm going to hit shift, and I'm going to hit cylinder. Come over to cylinder. I'm going to go nothing because I don't want anything at the top of the bottom. I'm just hit shade smooth. It's shift Z, so it just scales there, and then Z. I'm going to bring it up. Go to the front and push it forward some. I'm going to hit shift Z up, shift Z. Scale shift Z, and then now scale Z. Scale shift Z. Right. Now I know that I want this to buff out a little bit more. All right, cool. And I'm gonna add 2 loops. Select the whole thing, and then I'm gonna shift scale it, because there is literally the what you call them is on there right now. Now, this is where it's going to get fun. On that particular item, I'm going to put a shrink wrap modifier. Pick the pants. No, I'm not. I'm going to pick the body. Sorry. Pick the body. And then I'm going to blow it out a little bit. There we go. See what it looks like in the back. Come in edit mode. I want to go back to smoothing. I'm going to scroll it out some. Let's take the proportional editing off. All right. There we go. Yes, sir. It's not too bad. And underneath that, we're going to add a Solidify Modifier. I'm going to go even thickness. I'm going to go 0.013. Negative 0.013. Why is it so thick? Is it because this is on the bottom? Hold on, let's put this at the top and see how it works. Nope. That is definitely not right. All right, so put this one back at the bottom. All right. We're gonna find it because it's too thick, or at least it looks like it's too thick. Let me leave it by itself. What it look like? Why it look like that? Oh, I know why. Let's go and change. Put the normal on. There we go. Now we see why. All right. Okay. And you see the process here of working with this type of deal. Now, what if you had to do this for every character you were dealing with? My bad. I messed with the wrong thing. 0.06. All right. We want a certain thickness on it. Now I see now right here, this is too high up. And don't forget, like, you can always finesse things, play with them a little more. All right, so we're gonna go from the top one, and there we go. So now that piece is done, and because I'm gonna do a surface modifier, and it smoothed it out a little bit more, and that is done. Now I'm gonna go ahead and apply that one, and we have a belt on them. However, remember I said I was gonna add a solidify to the pants. I'm gonna hit thickness, we're gonna go into negative 1.013. That still seems a little thick. So I'm gonna bring it down some. All right, and that's fine. And I can add that, it's just not gonna mess it up. All right, so these two items are done. So his pants, which I still feel like this belt needs to be down some. Yeah, see how, man, that just worked so beautifully just then, didn't it? All right, now understand that all these things that we're doing, and then the back is messed up. You might say, oh, it's got a lot more vertices on it. Yeah, because I put the subdivision surface modifier on it. All right, so we're gonna hit G, scale it on the bottom a little bit more, and boom, there we go. All right, don't forget to save. Okay, so he's pretty much done there. Now, because we did what we did there, I'm gonna hit Z2. I'm gonna look at the shading, and his clothing and stuff is white right now. So whenever he walks or moves, because I'm gonna delete all of the geometry that's underneath here. Okay, whenever he walks or moves, that is going to be the geometry. All right. So for instance, right now, this belt is not locked to the character. There is no, as you see, there is no modifier, or like for instance with the pants, there is an armature. For the belt, there isn't one. So I would have to go in and tie that into the character, but also bind it with transfer the weights to the belt so that the belt would stay when the character moves, because I don't want it to come off. All right, I like how those boots look from the front. They look rough, don't they? Oh, I love it. Because I mean, it's just really the angle from which we're sitting at. And I think if I turn this back to 0.1, no, still the same. It doesn't matter. All right, so it's just the angle that is there, because still, when you see it like this right here, they're beautiful, aren't they? So I'm going to put the same thing again. I'm going to shade. I'm going to actually put some, I'm going to put detail or fabric detail on top of the pants and the belt. And all these things are going to happen in one of the next videos to come. So we're still going to be working on this character. And so for right now, we're going to shut down from here. See you in the next video. Or really, I don't even like saying that. So check out the next video, and we're going to get this thing popping. Nothing but love from this side.